Good morning and welcome back to another episode of the Van Build. Today we're going to be putting on an overcab storage shelf that is going to really add to the amount of space that we have for storage in the van. It is New Year's Day today. It's Monday, January the 1st, 2024. And I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. We have finally got a little bit of snow here in South Dakota, so that is wonderful. I don't know, I love snow, I love the cold, I love this time of year, so I'm excited to get outside and put on this shelf, hoping that it's easy. I pulled out both vehicles so that I have room to actually work. So this thing that you saw me carrying earlier is a kit that I bought off eBay. It comes with a template, which is really nice so that I don't have to measure out a very weirdly shaped space above the cab. As I think I said before, I'm not a professional, so you know, the easier I can make things on myself, the better. Then it comes with brackets here for holding up the shelf, nuts and bolts and washers to secure a piece of wood to the brackets. The only thing that I have to do is use the template to cut out a piece of wood. And then I also bought, well, I'm not sure where it's at actually, but I bought some like carpet liner that I want to put on the bottom of it. Should be able to just glue that on, so that way it looks kind of decent and not ugly. So it's looking like the piece of wood that I need is underneath a bunch of other wood that we moved earlier. It is this right here that I was planning on using. Probably gonna cover it with some of this. We should have some brand new sheets of this veneer, whatever you want to call it. It's just thin plywood for the top of it. And then, well, I'm not going to be able to paint it anytime soon because it's way too cold outside. Although I could do it inside the house, maybe in the basement. Maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll stain it. I don't know. So I got to move a bunch of wood. I don't know what it is exactly, if it's just like condensation or if the roof's actually leaking. As you can see, there's like water dripping on all this wood, which probably not good for it. That'll be a problem for another time, I guess. If I can find something to cover it with, I'll do that. We've finally gotten down to the one that I need. I could have sworn that I bought two of these, and I also could have sworn that this was supposed to be 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it was 1/2 inch, but it's an expanded 1/2 inch because it's less than 3/4 inches, but it's more than 1/2, so it'll be fine. Doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so this is what our template looks like. We've got the shelf body and then a shelf flange, just to keep stuff from sliding out. It's like almost 4 feet long. Doesn't look that big compared to the sheet, but I mean, that's an 8-foot piece of board. So currently there is no extra storage up there. I mean, that's just kind of wasted space. Although it is nice to have, because when I get up out of my seat, I can actually stand. So with this on, I'm going to have to stay ducked down until I get in the back. But it's worth it to have a good amount of extra storage. And also Dad got me this for Christmas. It's kind of it's like a phone holder that clips onto the sun visor. It's pretty nice. Should help with maps and also filming too. So thanks, Dad. All right, so now that we got the stencil finally cut out, I'm gonna go ahead and tape it down to our piece of wood here, tracing with our pencil, and then gotta make the cut. So I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but can kind of see my pencil marks there. Can't really see it at all from up here, but I don't know if I'm gonna regret using chipboard or not, because this stuff is kind of crappy. I mean, I knew that when I got it, but it was just cheap. We will see. But I guess if it doesn't work out well, I can always stencil it again. All right, so we finally got our piece all completely cut out. So you can see there's an indent there for the column. That's where the electronics are in the cab above the windshield. You see this line right here, that's where the stencil says that it's supposed to end, but I went like 6 or 7 inches out because I'm thinking I want to make this shelf go, not on this side, here it'll end, but on this side up to here, make it go past this section, because this is where it would end up against here, so that, I don't know, can create maybe another little nook or cabinet right there for holding, I don't know, books or who knows, anything. I could always use more storage, and I will pick that up later. All right, well, now that we got that piece cut out, before we can actually try to fit it, we need to get the brackets installed. This one goes on the screw behind here, and then the smaller bracket goes on that bolt there that holds that on. So got to take this off, get that screw out, slip those in, and hopefully it should go smoothly, because it's supposed to be easy. We'll see. All right, so hopefully these should be the only 2 things we need. It's just a screwdriver set with a bunch of different screwdriver bits, and this for prying off the plastic buttons that cover the screws, bolts. All right. Okay, so we got bracket in, this bracket in on this side. It wasn't super difficult, just, you know, took a little bit of force, because, I mean, there's not something meant to be back there. Now we just got to do this one, and then we can try to fit our wood on top, see how it fits. So we're gonna see if this fits. Wait a minute. What in the world? Is this meant to go? That's not good. Maybe I should have checked it and not trusted the template that I bought. This was really disappointing. The stencil that it came with is just entirely too small. It does not fit at all. And I mean, the stencil was supposed to be exact. I mean, I looked at it yesterday. It's for a 2019 and up Mercedes Spinner high roof. Like, well, I guess you live and you learn from your mistakes. If I butt it up all the way against here, it's maybe like 6 inches or more off, which is just crazy. Like, there's no way to fit it whatsoever. So I'm gonna have to make my own stencil and cut out a shelf myself. We are painfully working on stenciling, making my own stencil, and Dad is helping me out. It is January 2nd, and I feel like I wasted the whole day yesterday because that template was bad. So if I could, I'd give a bad review to the eBay seller, but I bought it like almost a year ago, so probably can't do that anymore. And probably all we're gonna have time for tonight, because I think it's getting close to 11 o'clock and I gotta work tomorrow.
It's all around?
It's
good?
It's very close. It's just whatever, it's just gonna be a tiny gap. Well, there is our finished template. It probably looks weird, but we've test fit it, so it should be accurate. Just to give you guys an idea of how off the template that came with the kit is, I mean, there's the size difference for you, so I don't know what's up with that, but they ripped me off. It is the following Saturday, and as you can see outside, it's snowing. Maybe like a couple inches on the ground right now, but it's amazing weather. I'm happy about that. I did find my other piece of wood that I was missing. We were using it as a table, apparently. We're gonna go ahead and cut it out and try to fit it. And this time, it should be the right size. Okay, so this is almost the final. I did cut it here, and I had 21 inches from the longest point from there to there. So it may still need to be trimmed out. I may need to do another cut here, but I wanted to leave some wiggle room so that in case it's crooked, because I'd like for it to be straight if possible. So now we just got to test fit it, and crossing our fingers, we don't have to do this a third time. If I lift this up here, it's on top of those brackets on that side. If I lift this right underneath, it's looking like it's gonna fit pretty well. And then I gotta see how far I can push it forward so that there's not like big gaps under here. Not that I'm gonna be putting small things in here. I'm kind of thinking like backpacks, like clothes, backpacking gear. Just large things are probably gonna end up in here. So I'm not too worried about spaces, you know, on the sides, but don't want the gap to be huge. As close as I can get it. Back in the van now. Took a little bit of break to have some breakfast inside with my parents, and then cleaned up the driveway a little bit, shoveled the snow out so my dad doesn't have to do it. But I got the shelf in place now, and as you can see, I lined it up. I don't know how well you can see this, but I lined it up with the edge of the headliner here. And you can probably also see this too, but there is a gap there. And I mean, it probably looks worse. Well, I don't know. It looks bad either way on camera or like actually in person, but if you look up through here, I mean, the gap's about like my finger width. It doesn't go all the way across, but I'm thinking I can cover that up with the thin sheet of board. I can just make it a little bit larger and maybe get a better template now that I've got this in its place. But now we're gonna go ahead and mark our bolt holes here. And I'm probably not gonna do too much else today because even when I was inside eating, I was like falling asleep at the table. Because I didn't sleep last night, so because I worked last night. So maybe we'll continue this video if I get up later tonight, or we will reconvene tomorrow on Sunday. So we got our holes drilled for our bolts here to secure the shelf to the brackets. Now I'm gonna take it back inside, see if they'll fit, and then I'm going to sleep. and I'm tired. There we go. Got 6 bolts in. Got 2 on this back hinge and 1 on the front. And they're actually so tight that I had to use the drill to get them into the slot here. I'm not gonna bother putting the bolts or washers on yet because I still gotta take it down so I can trace another stencil for the thin plywood to put it on top, and then I also have to wrap it in like automotive carpeting. It's not exactly the same color as this, but it's similar to this kind of look. I'm gonna put that on the bottom here just so that it's not like that ugly wood, and so I don't get splinters on my head. All right, well, it is the next day. I had a good sleep. I slept a lot. Where are my keys? Dang it. Okay, forgot my keys in the house. As it stands right now, the shelf is pretty tight on the edges here as far as it fitting into the headliner above the cab. I think I mentioned before that I was going to wrap it in like automotive carpet, which is not very thick, but it's already hard enough to get in as is. So I'm going to use the palm sander here to just give it a good sand on the sides. This is the board that I was talking about that I'm going to use to cover the top of the cab shelf because it's nicer wood, and also once I paint it or stain it, whatever I decide to do, it'll look a lot nicer and be a nice clean surface to put things on. I'm planning to put things like clothes and possibly like backpacks and stuff like that up there. Stuff that I don't want to get snagged and torn on some chipboard that is notoriously known for chipping, obviously, and also for being ugly. So this will make it look a lot nicer. So that's the piece that I cut out. Once it's painted or stained, I think I'm gonna paint it. This is where everything will sit on top of when I use it as storage. So now we gotta test fit it, because if you see this line right here, that is the original line. That is the exact shape as the shelf. But I cut it a little bit larger to hopefully fill up that gap that's up top, and we'll sand it down and stuff to hopefully make it be a perfect fit. And as you can see, there's still some gaps there. That was what I was trying to cover up, but it is looking a lot better now. The only problem is it does not slide all the way in. So you can see that there's a lip going all the way across. So I'm gonna go try to trim that down a bit and see if we can get as close to fit as possible. We did a bit of shaving off of the edges on this top sheet here, and it's fitting a little bit better, and hopefully you can tell there's a lot less light coming through, which means less gaps. It still doesn't fit. Got a lot of snow building up there, and this carpet is disgusting. But we've got this about as close of a fit that it's going to get, I think. Pretty good fit inside here, if I do say so myself. It's a little bit of gaps. Kind of the largest one is right there. Other than that, I mean, I think it fits pretty well. So now we get to get out of the cold and go into the basement and put the carpet on, put it together, then we'll see if it fits. Still, what I'm gonna do is use the drill to drill these holes all the way through so that they line up on both pieces once it's all put together. All right, so we're in the basement now, and everything that we have so far down here is our 2 pieces of wood, and this is the adhesive that we're gonna be using to glue the carpet to this. And then here's the carpeting that I bought a long time ago, actually. I just realized that I'm missing a couple things that I'm gonna need to finish the over cab shelf. Wood glue, paint, primer, and staples. So we're taking the van out for a trip, and we're gonna go pick those things up. All right, well, I'm testing out the phone holder that Dad got for me. So hopefully this is a flattering angle. Gotta put the glasses on. It's so hard to do that while wearing a beanie. There we go, let's go. Back at our favorite place in the world. Hopefully these fit. And our paint, glue, and staples. I also have this in my mouth, can you tell? Saw this Chinese place and saw that it was still open. And I'm kind of feeling Chinese food, and I know my mom and dad like it, so I'm gonna get some for dinner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kapuna.
You too.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Well, they were very nice, but they had trouble understanding me. But we got our food. Yum. I think I said in my Louisiana video road trip that that was the cheapest gas I'd ever seen. This is the cheapest gas I've ever seen. Look at that. 46 bucks for 18 gallons. That's crazy. Can we get gas prices like this everywhere, please?
She like my sugar cone seeds, I just took off the roof. She got a marshmallow booty, I like to sprinkle it too.
Alright, well, we're just gonna leave our stuff down here for now. And I'm gonna go eat. It is almost 10 o'clock, and I think we're gonna leave this work for tomorrow. So we'll see you then.
You are the bridge between land and sea. I can see that now.
So I got some cardboard laid out here, and we've got our shelf piece. Now we just need to cut this carpet to shape and glue it on and staple the edges. Alright, so we got our piece cut out to roughly the size that we're going to need to cover the shelf, and then I'm going to be using just this 3M spray adhesive that I bought off Amazon. I'm going to be spraying it on both the wood and the carpet and letting it dry, and then we can wrap around the edges and staple and glue those as well. Hopefully I don't mess this up. That smells. Start spraying, I guess. So, we got a little bit of snow today. It's been snowing pretty much all day, actually. I think it's still snowing. But, yeah. Whoa. But the reason I'm out here is because, I need the staple gun, and I forgot I didn't take it inside the house yesterday like I should have. Carpet glued on, and I've had it drying for maybe like 20-30 minutes. It's supposed to be fast drying anyway, so it's probably done earlier, but it seems stuck on there pretty good. I don't think it's going to be coming off anytime soon. So then I got to flip it over, figure out how to fold the edges over properly. I've been thinking about it while I've been waiting for it to dry. This is what we've got kind of going on for this corner here. I just, cut slits. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to cut these shorter because they don't need to be that long. Here it is. I don't think it looks half bad. I did the best I knew how to do. Here's the bottom side of it, or well, really that's the top when it goes on, but it doesn't really matter what that looks like because of this piece of board here. The thin piece is gonna go glued on top of it, just like that. But we're gonna paint this first. And I was thinking the reason for this dark color is so that it absorbs light in that, like, over the cab space, because having this shelf up there inside of the van is also going to help prevent light from inside the van from escaping, so it'll be less obvious that someone's in there when I have the lights on. So that'll be really nice, and it'll give me another place to hang my curtains. I'll probably be getting some thicker curtains, probably insulating ones as well, to help with the cold, and of course, since they're thicker, they'll help block out the light better as well. So I'm test fitting the hardware that came with the brackets and templates for this shelf, and as you can see here, I don't know how well you can see that, sorry about the shadow, this thing is barely poking out after, having the automotive carpet on there, which added some thickness, plus this, and then there's a washer on the bolt as well. There is not enough thread here to put on another washer, plus the bolt, or the nut, I mean. So probably going to have to buy some other hardware. And I guess it's probably looking like I'm not going to finish this in this video. But we are going to get this painted and throw it up there so you guys can at least see what it'll look like. It just won't have the bolts and nuts to secure it in place, but I'll get those later. So obviously it does not look amazing, but we got a first coat on, and we're just gonna let this dry overnight because it is getting late and I need to go to bed. So we've done a total of 3 coats of primer, and now we're gonna paint it. Put at least 2 coats of this on. Hopefully it'll turn out good. It's pretty smooth. I sanded it down a little bit in between coats. So this is the final product here. It's been painted twice, and I did 3 coats of primer, and should be completely dry. Hopefully it dried properly, because I'm not really sure what the temperature is down here in the basement. But as long as it's above 50 degrees, it should have dried properly. We're gonna go outside and finally finish this and fit the shelf and show you guys how it'll look. So it's a bit cold out tonight. It's actually the coldest night of this winter so far. I believe it's, if I can get my phone on, you can see that it's negative 21 right now, negative 20. And it's windy as well, so it feels a little bit colder. That's why I got this on, so I don't get frost in my face. But we're gonna go fit this shelf, put it on, and then we're gonna run back inside the house, because it's cold. I don't know what temperature it is inside the van, but I'm assuming it's probably pretty similar to outside temps right now, because the van's been sitting out here all day. But at least we're out of the wind. So we're gonna throw this one up there first. Wow, look at that. I'm excited already. As you guys already know, I get excited over finishing anything in the van. Like I mentioned before, not the same color, but it kind of goes along with the vibe of this color. It's just a different gray. Woo, my hands are cold. Okay, I gotta get my gloves back on. Holy sh! Wow, my hands are freezing. At these temperatures, you can get frostbite within minutes. So yeah, I probably should have kept my gloves on. I know it's dark right now, so you can't really see any light coming up through the cracks, but they're very minimal. I stuck my hand back here, can barely feel them at all. There's a tiny one way over there, but I'm thinking it looks pretty good. Go and sit down in our seat here. This is what it looks like from the cab. And we'll be able to store a lot of stuff up there. Which I am very excited for. I also went to Lowe's and picked up these longer bolts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to fit some of these real quick just to see if they're long enough. All right, so there's the 2 bolts in place right there. So actually it's looking like I got the perfect size. As you can see, they're down here. I didn't put washers underneath. I'm just test fitting them for now. But then I've got some locking nuts and washers that'll go on top of this, and it'll be pretty much complete. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I do plan to put a face in front of this. We'll start here and cover this whole area, including this, just to cover up this exposed insulation and the fact that you can see above the headliner, just to make it look a little bit cleaner, and then to cover up this edge here as well, and then also to create a lip above this so things don't slide out this way. But that is going to be a project for another video. Well, I think that is going to finally conclude this video. I just want to thank you guys that have been sticking around and watching my videos, even though I haven't been posting very consistently. I'm thinking about trying to start posting weekly again if I can, even though I probably won't be able to get enough done to actually finish a set thing on the van build. I want to at least just show you guys the progress that I have made within a week so that I can start getting more videos out to you, and then doing a little bit of camping, maybe when it warms up just a little bit. So with that said, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay warm out there. I also got this little thermometer from Walmart this morning when I got off work. There's the outdoor reading of -21 Ignore the 32, that's indoor. That's this thermometer, but it hasn't exactly updated properly because I've been keeping it in my pocket. It's a cold one, boys.